Hello and welcome back. This is episode 12 of the bonus stage. We're your hosts. I'm Jeff Ward.
I'm Tom Higgins.
And today we're going to be doing our three-part E3 wrap-up special. So these are going to be about roughly 10 minutes or so a piece. And the first one we're going to be looking at is Nintendo. So Nintendo's big press conference, basically kind of a letdown, but they came out with a lot of good stuff. The biggest thing being the Wii Motion Plus, which is just a little attachment that goes on the bottom of your Wii remote. Yep. A lot of people are looking forward to it. I don't have a Wii anymore, but I mean, you still have one with your girlfriend, so you're probably looking forward to playing a lot of games with a different one-to-one motion detection ratio. So
yeah, it should be good. Golf cams definitely, like Tiger Woods 010 or not 010, just 10, I guess. Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be really fun. It actually picks up, you know, if you have a horrible slice, which I guess, now that I think about it, won't be as fun.
I think there's going to be a lot of big finely tuning options in Tiger Woods so that, you know, it's going to be a little bit easier.
Really show how much you suck.
Well, yeah, it might be really hard, but I think that, I mean, games are meant to be fun, so, you know, golf is fun, but when you're hitting bad shots all the time, golf is a lot of fun.
Golf is not fun.
But Tiger Woods 10 does come bundled with the Wii Motion Plus. The game is $59, so, you know, it's not, you know, just your regular retail game, but it is bundled with it, so you don't have to go pick it up separately. I'm pretty sure there will be a few other games eventually that'll come bundled with it.
Apparently there's a lightsaber game for Star Wars.
Yeah, that
definitely sounds interesting.
Lightsaber games would be really cool.
Everybody's been waiting for a good lightsaber game.
Yep.
The cartoony Star Wars Clone Wars one kind of flopped, so this one...
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't very fun.
This one.
A big one that in the Ubisoft conference was Red Steel 2, and they were using the Wii Motion Plus when they were playing it, and it looked really well. Like, I mean, every time you moved or rotated your hand, that sword went with it, and it looked like a really wicked game. That's one I would be really excited to play if I still had a Wii.
Hopefully there's music in the multiplayer.
Yeah, that was a big thing about the first one, is the multiplayer just had sound effects.
Yeah.
And it was boring.
It had small clips of music in certain locations, but there was no real music in the game, so it kind of just was quiet.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. But Wii Motion Plus, it's only a little bit of, like, I think it's like $20 or $30, so it's a pretty cheap little adapter, but it's like, I'm not quite sure exactly what is inside of it, if it's just a more powerful accelerometer that takes place of the one that's already inside the remote, or if it just adds to the sensitivity.
It's probably a bigger one.
Yeah, so... I mean, it basically just clicks onto the bottom of your controller. You don't even know it's there. But we have yet to use one, so, I mean, we're going to...
know if Nintendo's actually packaging a new Wiimote condom thing with it.
Yeah, that's a good thing, too.
Like, account for the size, because otherwise that... I don't even know what it's actually called.
The
condom sleeve.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. It's like a jelly protector thing or something, so that if you whip it at somebody's face, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah. So essentially putting that on there is going to, like, essentially make the protective glove just kind of useless now. Yeah.
Another big peripheral was the Wii Vitality thing, which Iwata came up with, and it was... if you've ever been to the doctors and they took, you know, like your blood pressure and your heart rate, it's just a little thing that goes on the end of your finger. But it's supposed to work with, bless you, it's supposed to work with Wii Fit and sort of give you a different vitality thing, and tells you how much calories you're burning. It actually looks kind of cool, but again, Nintendo isn't really making games per se right now.
Gamers are supposed to be like the fat, overweight.
Yeah, why can't we get back to the fat gamers of old? I mean, all these, you know, people playing Nintendo Wii and being fit and stuff. That's dumb. Yeah. You're supposed to be eating a lot of cheesies, and you're supposed to be in the dark.
Cheesies, Oreos, and Coke. Yeah. And Pizza Pops.
And you're supposed to be really white.
Yeah.
Or pale. Okay, so then now we get to the games. We've got two new Mario games. Mario Galaxy 2 coming out
and
soon.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii with 4-player co-op, which...
That looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool, but it's going to be interesting. Like, are we Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, or are we Wario, Yoshi, like they had on the Super Mario 64 DS?
Yeah. From the demo, they were all kind of Mario-ish little characters, but I mean, it looks like a fun game. I mean, it's kind of hard to screw up a Mario game these days.
Aside from Mario Party.
Yeah, but that's only because it's been out for, 19 iterations now, so it's a little ridiculous. I think the biggest stuff for you and me was the new Metroid announcements.
The 3 of them, actually.
Yeah.
Metroid The Other M, a co-developed game with Nintendo and Team Ninja, the makers of Ninja Gaiden and the Dead or Alive series.
Yeah.
This game looks like it has a huge story compared to regular Metroid games. They actually show... Now, Metroid's not known for its cutscenes, so I don't know if they've pretty much showed all of the game's cutscenes in the opening trailer. or the teaser trailer, but the game looks like it goes into Samus's past.
Yeah, which is something that we've only really touched on in a few games. So I'd really like to see, you know, how Samus Aran became, you know, Samus Aran.
What else? We got they re-announced a Metroid, I guess it's a 2.5D game for the DS, which is huge. I mean, Metroid Hunters was a decent game, but graphically, not the greatest.
Yeah, but then again, it did come out on, or very close to launch from the original DS. But the thing is...
a game, you know, akin to Super Metroid is going to be huge.
Yeah, like that was one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo.
It's going to be awesome. And
probably the coolest announcement is definitely the Metroid Prime triple pack. So they're coming out in a box set type of thing, but
much like with Nintendo's redoing right now, like Pikmin, Jungle Beat, they're repackaging old games with
Wii controls
for the Wiimote.
So the previous two Prime
and Prime 2 Echoes.
Yeah, Prime 2 Echoes are going to be now on, were exclusively GameCube games, are now going to be on the Wii with Wii Motion controls, which would be really awesome.
And all three games are bundled in one disc, or at least in one pack, and that's going to be pretty awesome, actually. Like, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption was the hit title of the Wii for a good solid, like, 2 or 3 months. Like,
yeah, it was on Nintendo Power Top 10 for the longest time.
And now that it's coming with the rest of its trilogy, like, the rest of the series, it's just going to be...
It's literally one of the best values you can get, if, you know, for Nintendo right now. People are hinting at MSRP being, like, $30 to $45 range, and even then, like, that's amazing, because you're getting a great GameCube game.
$59.99, you're still getting 3 full-size... full retail games for the price of one. And it's
pretty wicked.
Games have a lot of replayability.
And then we also have the new Zelda for the Wii was announced, but there was no gameplay footage, so that was kind of disappointing.
Just a concept art, with Link, and it was supposed to be a Zora.
Yeah, so that was kind of disappointing, but I mean, it's a Zelda game, so, you know, high expectations all around.
High expectations, but they can flop. So.
Yeah, as Wind Waker kind of flopped in the sense. And then apparently at Nintendo's booth, they did have demos of the new Zelda game for the DS.
Spirit Track.
Yeah, but unfortunately they had no on-stage gameplay, so the only stuff that we still know, you know, about Spirit Tracks is that it's going to be in the same vein art style as Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass, and you ride a train a lot.
They replaced a boat with a train.
Yeah, which
the only problem
is kind of cool.
With the boat, you could essentially go anywhere where there's water. This one, you're confined to train tracks, which is kind of going to suck.
Yeah.
That means you're going to have to, like, zigzag around the map just to get to where you want to go.
I'm going to assume that they're going to place map icons, you know, just opposed to, you know, the train tracks. It's not going to be a huge amount to travel.
I don't know.
I'm very excited to play it, though. I really wanted to.
In the first one, really. I mean, the boat was pretty simple, and they screwed that up, so... Keep your eyes on that game, definitely.
And we will. And
it's got promises.
You can be sure that all of these games that we're mentioning will be reviewed by us when they come out / when we can afford them. But the overall grade for Nintendo, I mean, you know, how do you think Nintendo did this E3? Last E3, they bombed. They really sucked. But I think they brought a little bit more this time, but not by much.
I'm gonna give it like a 3. If I have to, number it, I guess like a 3 out of 5. Like, they did pretty good. They didn't do too bad, but they just really... A lot of teaser trailers, nothing more in-depth than that, and a lot of peripherals, a lot more peripherals than anyone would have liked.
Yeah.
And
Nintendo's shipping a lot of plastic this year.
They kind of pulled a color Game Boy trick. Back in the day, anyone who remembers, Game Boy was, the big gray brick. Everyone wanted to play Game Boy games in color. And Nintendo said, well, they didn't really say, we want Game Boy games in color, we just want Game Boy Color, so they came out with a red Game Boy and a yellow Game Boy. Mm-hmm. Wii's doing the same thing right now. You're going to be able to buy, stupidly bright green, bright yellow, red, blue. Which
is kind of cool, but it'll probably up their numbers because people like color. And the light blue DSi is actually pretty wicked. For me, I'm thinking that Nintendo is really just sort of shunning the hardcore gamer right now. They're coming out with a few things to sort of keep you owning your Wii in a little bit. And, I mean, that's all right, but I would have really liked to see them bring more, good first-party games to first-party hardcore games.
More footage and more news.
Yeah.
That's what they need.
It was basically just a pretty lackluster event. The people like Reggie and that woman that they had on, they didn't look very excited about being a part of Nintendo. They looked like their wallets were weighing them down a lot, and that they had to sit down. But, I mean... I'd say like 2 out of 5 if I had to give it a number. I don't think that they did very well at all. But coming up next, we're going to have Sony, and then later on, we're going to have Microsoft. So,
before we cut it, Another game that was announced at E3, definitely check out Scribblenauts. It's done by the same group that did Drawn to Life and Lock's Quest for both for the DS. Another game along the same lines as Drawn to Life, where instead of drawing the picture, you write a word, any noun, and it gets brought to life. And it's a very intriguing looking puzzle game. Definitely check it out, Scribblenaut.
That sounds pretty cool too. So we'll be back with Sony.